Okay, so we are ready to start our seminar today. So today we have Jinze Yuan presenting her work as an editor of a scientific journal. So it's a bit different from what we usually have, but anyway, it's quite important talk. Jinze, you can begin now.
Okay, so thank you, Mike. Thank you for inviting me for this talk. Okay, now I'll begin my talk. So can you hear? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen well.
Okay, let's begin.
Yes, perfect.
Sorry. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jing Zeyuan. As an in-house editor of journal Light Science Applications, I'm so happy to have this opportunity to introduce you some information about this journal. So today, I'm going to talk about ELSA in 5 aspects. First, I would introduce you some basic information about this journal. In 2012, ELSA was co-founded by CM and Spring Nature. Sorry. Okay. In 2012, ELSA was co-founded by CM and Spring Nature. It is Nature publishing group's first type in physics in China. Here, I also want to mention that CM is the biggest optical institute of Chinese Academy of Science, which is located in Changchun. So it's actually a win-win cooperation. ELSA is a comprehensive optics for open access and a peer-reviewed journal. Its latest impact factor is 17.782. And so far, it has been top 3 among all of the optic journals for 7 years. The most important aim of ELSA is to publish high-quality optics and photonics research from all over the world. The journal covers fundamental research as well as important issues in engineering and applied science. The topics of ELSA currently contain following fields, and I believe the 3 topics in red may be more relevant to you here. Many people would be interested in how ELSA works and how we process papers. What I want to mention first is the people who are working for ELSA. Actually, there are 2 parts compose ELSA editors. They are editorial board members and the in-house editors. Let me introduce first team. ELSA's editorial board members are all distinguished optical experts, and their research interests almost cover all the optics and photonics fields. Currently, we have 72 members from 18 countries, and overseas editors count to 67%. Here, I also want to thank Prof. Chu Daping. He is one of the excellent editors who contributes so much to ELSA. Though I know he's not here, but I want to thank him at the same. We always say ELSA is a journal organized for serving scientists. But on the other hand, it's also a journal organized by scientists. ELSA editorial board members play really important roles to ensure the quality of published papers, as well as improving the popularity of the journal in optical community. Their main duties include invite experts to balance each paper, provide suggestions for journal development, promote ELSA for broader exposure, and so on. We also have a team of in-house editors in Changchun office. Here is a photo of our team. In-house editors' main duties are maintaining the functions of ELSA and boosting the ELSA's popularity and influence as well. In addition, ELSA also have built up 16 overseas and regional offices. They are all hosted by ELSA's editors or the scientists who strongly support the journal. The duties of each office may be different, such as organizing certain columns, like perspective and news and views, and operating ELSA official accounts on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and so on. In addition, these offices based in university also make ELSA closer to the scientists worldwide. Next, I would like to share some important data that you may like to know. Last year, we totally received over 1,300 submissions from about 60 countries, and finally published nearly 240 papers. The total rejection rate is about 80%. And you can find from the plot, ELSA has been expanding the volume almost every year since it launched, and in order to attract more excellent research work. In this year, we are also planning to make a small but stable increase in volume. As you know, academic journals have to take the impact factor into consideration as well. It's difficult to balance them. We also publish different types of papers, but I want to tell you that only review and original articles welcome free submissions. What a manuscript will experience once it is submitted to ELSA. Firstly, in-house editors will quickly check it, mainly focus on its format, overlap rate, and if the topic is proper to ELSA. If everything is fine, submission will pass to EIC and the editor for academic quality check. Almost 75% submissions would be rejected in this step. If it successfully passed, the submission will be sent out by editor for peer reviewing. This step usually takes about 2 months. After this, we will send the decision made by EIC to the authors. The decisions about each manuscript are usually made based on the following principles. First, each submission has to be assigned to no less than 4 reviewers in order to guarantee 2 pieces of comments at least written. Second, editor can make a quick rejection recommendation within 7 days. And sometimes editor can overrule negative or positive reviewers. EIC makes the final decision based on the editor's recommendation and the reviewer's comments. Usually, more than 1 review round needed. So all of above make each submission would get professional and reasonable decisions. In the past few years, ELSA has gained not only support from the Optical Society, but also aroused attention in the research field. We have published breakthrough papers from basic science and also from engineering and industry. For example, we have published Nobel Prize winners' paper and many top international journals EIC's papers. Among the 850 research papers published between 2012 to 2021, 18% have been cited more than 100 times. As a high-impact academic journal, the other important aim of ELSA is to serve more scientists and research work. Among all of our efforts, what we want most is to have our authors to contribute their best papers to us. So what we have done to attract our authors, that includes struggling for high impact in optics community, not only in China, but also gain international reputation. Fast submission and review process, guaranteed quality peer review managed by top editors, and all content is free to all worldwide. Research reaches the community in a timely manner. So next, I will talk more detailed on some points. Actually, we know our speed is not fast enough while compared with some other journals like Optics Express. So we also provide a green channel for all of these urgent and great papers. So if your papers are really urgent, for example, other team do the similar work is going to publish their work at the same time, then you can apply to us while you are preparing your manuscript, but before you're submitting it. Once we confirmed, you can have a speeding process. Until now, we have published about nearly 10 green channel papers. The average submission to publication period is 45 days. We also provide our authors free and kinds of manners to promote their papers. For example, we assist authors to prepare their news, and for some high-value articles, we'll invite authors to do an interview video. So each published paper will be well and broadly spread through ELSA official accounts, which are on those mainstream platforms such as WeChat, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and so on. ELSA also has a special column named Editors Highlight. Our editors will select a small number of articles that they believe they are particularly interesting or important, then to give them more exposure. We also cooperate with TrendMD and Web of Science to do targeted promotion, sending the papers to targeted readers by email. And each year, we also select best authors, and the winners list would be exposed on the front page of ELSA, and the ceremony would be held at Light Conference. In the past 10 years, we have actually got lots of support from the Optical Society, and in return, we also take our responsibility to serve the Optical Society with our resources. That's the main reason why we have been hosting Light Conference almost every year. Light Conference is one of the biggest international annual gatherings for optical scientists, but due to the pandemic, this conference has been cancelled the last 2 years. Another important event held by ELSA is Rising Stars of Light Award. It is a worldwide competition for the most shining young scientists in optics-related fields. Since 2018, it has been hosted for 4 years and received worldwide recognition. The last 2 years, due to pandemic, ELSA moved it online. It was a so competitive race, and the winner is going to win not only bonus, but also a chance to be exposed in ELSA front page. There is no doubt it is also a very great stage for young scientists to show themselves to the optical community. So, Rising Stars of Light 2022 welcome you to participate in. As one of important academic platforms in Optical Society, we have triggered huge numbers of international collaborations. Take some for examples. CM has cooperated with 3 international experts to build up labs or company in Changchun. 2 of them, Prof. Guo Chunlei and Prof. Dieter Bimberg, are ELSA or ELITE's editors. And the other person, Dr. Li Bei, he is a student of one ELSA's editor, Prof. Martin Booth. So next part, I would like to introduce you 2 sister journals of ELSA. They are ELITE and Light Advanced Manufacturing. We also call it LINE. The first one, ELITE. ELITE is also co-published by SAM and Spring Nature. It launched in June 2021. It's a very young journal and also managed by the same team that creates ELSA. Elite aims to attract the fast manuscript, broadly covering all subfields of optics, photonics, and electromagnetics. In particular, it focuses on those emerging topics and across disciplinary researches related to optics. To guarantee the journal's quality, Elite forms a high-prestigious editorial team with an average age index of above 80. Launched for only 8 months, Elite's papers have received an average cite of 12 times. It also has been cited by Science, Nature Photonics, Nature Physics, Physical Review Letters, and other influential journals. So based on the current statistics, we can expect its first impact factor to be above 20. Next, about Lime. It launched in 2020 and funded by Jihua Laboratory actually, but it is built up and operated by ELSA team. Lime aims to publish innovative research in all modern areas related to light-based manufacturing, including fundamental and applied research as well as industrial innovations. Lime also has an international editorial team, but different from ELSA and Elite. Nearly 1/3 members are from optical industry. Until now, Lime has published 72 papers, and the first impact factor is expected to be about 7. Last part, I'd like to share some tips of preparing a paper for ELSA. What kind of paper ELSA really want? First, it must be in comprehensive optics, but we need to mention that the optics should be the originality instead of a mere tool. Second, the work should have crucial novelty. Lots of our authors argue with us that their papers have novelty, but what we care more about is actually this novelty matters what kind of influence, how big a field this novelty is going to bring. We also care about how interesting this paper is. It cannot be only interesting to a few groups or a very narrow field. We wanted it to be interesting to broader readership. So we summarize some crucial novelty we may care about. First, important advance in scientific understanding, paving new concepts, new directions. For example, we have published a paper from Professor Cui Tiejun. He brought out this novelty and concept of digital coding materials. Second, throwing out first experimental demonstration of well-known theory, such as the demonstration of gravity wave. Third, breakthrough in performance, which can bring an essential change to relevant fields, such as you can bring the power of lasers to orders of magnitude higher. Fourth, significant step forward in hot fields. And fifth, results which can be interesting and arouse discussion to our readership. And the last, you can try to build a connection between science and industry. If you believe your article is proper to ELSA, next, please take the following points into consideration. We always say a great paper also tells a great story. So write a good story for your audience, not only for your peers. Make sure your story is brief, interesting, and not tough to understand, so that more readers, even laymen, can understand and be enlightened by your work. While writing your paper, you'd better try to have a clear and robust message to clearly state following points. What is the main advance in your work? What do we learn that is new? Why is it significant, and what impact is it going to have? And the results should speak for themselves, so please don't help. Certainly, there are still many other detailed points can be shared, like how to construct a good paper in terms of title, abstract, discussion. But as I can't put them all in today's talk, as it will take a too long time. So if any of you have interest, I'm happy to have a talk with you in person later. So that's all for my talk today. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jinzen. It's a really great presentation. I already want to submit something to this journal. Okay, and it's great you are here with us, so we can just have a brief chat and discuss any questions about it. It's good. Okay, so any questions from the audience? Anything you want to discuss right now? I have a question about this green channel, and maybe I missed a little bit. Could you please explain it a bit more? So, who make a decision about taking green channel with your paper, and how does it work? And a little bit more around it.
So, Mike, you want to know who makes the final decision about each paper?
No, not final, just initial decision. So, what?
Initial decisions.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me find. So once the submission submitted and in initial check, EIC will reject this paper if it's not suit for the how to say if the quality of this journal of this paper is not very good, our EIC will reject this paper this step. And I can so is this your question, Mike?
My question more about the green channel you mentioned somewhere at the beginning. So some papers have different treatment from the others. Could you please explain it a bit more?
Sorry, Mike. I didn't get your meaning very well. So you mean
green channel, 45 days, green channel.
So, sorry, I don't
No?
worry. Get
well, maybe can you open your presentation about slide 5 or 6?
Sorry, green channel. You mean right?
Green channel.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. So once the author submit apply to us, and we will consider we will check their applications first, and we will to get the information from our we will get the suggestions from our editorial board members, and if they confirm it's a very great and urgent paper, then we will open the green channel for this paper. So the decision is made by our editorial board members, actually.
Okay, but the author has to sort of apply for it, yeah, or make an intention for it, yeah, or not necessarily, or it's done just by the editors themselves.
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
Is any initiative from the author required to go through the green channel? Does the author have to apply for it, or it's just done by the editors?
Authors have to apply to us first and before the submission. Yes, if he submitted the manuscript but not applied to us before, I think it's difficult to pass it to the green channel.
Okay, so, I understand. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Any more questions, please? About your rejection rate, so 80% rejection rate. Maybe you know how it compares with other Nature papers rejection rate.
You mean other journals rejection rate?
Other journals from Nature Publishing Group.
As I know, the rejection rate from Nature Photonics is nearly 19. Nearly. It's higher than us.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And overall time is about 2 months, yeah?
Yeah, 2 months. Each round about 2 months.
Each round, yeah.
And usually each paper will take at least 2 rounds, and the second round may be faster than first round.
Okay, by round you mean adding some corrections, some changes, yeah, minor or major changes. Okay. Okay. And do I understand correctly, eLight journal, it's only electronic, yeah? It's not printed?
Yes, it's also on the optics and photonics, but it pay more attention to the cross-disciplinary and and something like this.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Any more questions? Probably last chance. Well, you can always have your question, ask your question in person, because yeah, Jenze is here in the group, so you can find her.
Yeah.
You're normally in office 116, yeah? As I
Yes.
understand.
Yes.
Okay.
So welcome. Yeah, if you have any question?
Yeah, sure. You're welcome to come and ask any questions over a cup of tea. Okay, thank you very much. We're finishing now. Thank you. So next seminar will be next week. Also online, also here on Teams. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.